All right, so we have a couple things to talk about. I think the first thing that I want to talk about is the news about Tennessee's quarterback, Nico Iamaleava, if you don't pay me enough money. I know that joke's been oversaid and oversaturated. Um, I didn't make a video on this at first just because it's like, let's see how this story develops. Let's see where it goes before we jump the ship and we talk about it and we make multiple videos on it. It's reached the point past no return. We saw the earlier this morning before the Notre Dame and the Ohio State spring games that I watched, which I'll make a video on that too. But Tennessee and Nico Iamaleava have parted ways. There was a report that Heupel said, we've released him, we've cut him, because there were some NIL disputes, which I find is so funny. And I guess we're, pardon my French, we're in a moment now of college football era where fuck around, find out. And I think we're figuring that out now as we sit, because NIL is huge. And I think it's funny how we're overreacting about how big the NIL is getting when the NIL has been like this since 2021. Bryce Young had a big NIL contract when he was still with Bama. We saw the NIL for Caleb Williams going from Oklahoma to USC. Like, we're treating NIL as if it's a brand new thing, but we've played 3 seasons with it. And we've seen 3 seasons of people entering the transfer portal during bowl season. We've seen, even last year I'm thinking about UNLV's quarterback that left, Sluka, something in the middle of the season. Now that's not getting as much attention as this one with Nico will get because of how big of a name Nico was. My initial reaction is I think it's kind of funny that it got to the point where you're asking for $4 million as a college player. And so it kind of, I think it's a selfish move. And I think it's kind of a spit in the face to college football players who have played before you. Just because you look at some of the other guys and the legends of college football throughout time, like, I doubt Tim Tebow was getting $4 million from Florida. I doubt Reggie Bush was getting paid $4 million from USC. Baker with Oklahoma, Lamar with Louisville. Like, I think it's funny that, like, we kind of are coming into a situation where, okay, you want to see the business side of it, this is what it is. We're cutting your ass. We're not going to fight you on this. Pushed it over. Straw that broke the camel's back was Friday, missing out on practice, no showing, not telling anybody, because you're going to find out that if you skip practices in the NFL, it's no different. I think another thing too is, what have we seen from Nico that warrants, okay, you're worth $4 million. I think paying college athletes this amount of money is just absurd and insane anyways, because, you get a full ride scholarship to go get your degree. You're living in the nice campus houses, probably on campus. Don't get me wrong, it's generational wealth that I definitely wouldn't want to pass up on, and neither would anybody else if they had that chance. But it's like, there are some guys on your team who are doing this shit for free, trying to earn scholarships, and so I just think it's funny. Johnny Manziel, there's another guy that got accused of getting paid and stuff, but he didn't receive a dime and stuff, and he turned Texas A&M around. From what I have seen out of Nico, yes, he beat Florida, yes, he beat Alabama at home. I don't understand what warrants he's worth that much money, just because of how the outing was in the shoe when they played Ohio State's defense and how that college football playoff first round exit went. You could look at it from the point of view of, Ohio State ended up winning the national championship. We lost to the national championship too. Yeah, but Tennessee also stank up the joint in that game. And considering he was already getting paid millions of dollars anyway, I think he was getting paid 2.7. You just look at the landscape of college football. There's only realistically 2-3 players that can argue that this is how much money they're worth. Arch Manning, which I still think Arch Manning's got some stuff to prove at Texas. Ryan Williams for Alabama, and Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State. Those are the only 3 returning players that I think, okay, this warrants this much money. I mean, Travis Hunter wasn't even demanding this much money from Colorado. Now, he had his own NIL signings, and we knew he was going to be a top 3 pick before we even went into last season. I think it's a good thing what Tennessee has done, setting that precedence of, like, no, you're not going to bully your way. Like, we've been really strong on player empowerment. You know, whether you're a fullback, running back, wide receiver, quarterback, safety, you can't stronghold a university into wanting to pay you a certain amount, because it comes to a point where, like, it comes to a point, are you doing this for the money or are you doing this for the love of the game? And I think there's something that goes without saying where you look at the Bo Nixes, Michael Penix Jr., Jaden Daniels, the guys that put in the time, or, Riley Leonard, for example, Kyle McCord, where he put time in Ohio State and then he transferred to Syracuse. It's like they put in the time at a certain program and they were coached hard. And, like, they sat through, Will Howard also, because he was at K-State for a handful of seasons. But, like, they sat through a program, learned, developed their craft, made themselves a better quarterback, and then when the NCAA granted them another year, because they played out their traditional 3 seasons, 4 seasons, and they took what they knew because they couldn't get another season at that school, but if they hit the transfer portal, they could get a grad transfer, extra year of eligibility. Like, those, like, there's something to be said about guys that stick with the grind versus the ones that are just chasing the money. This is going to follow Nico for the rest of his collegiate career, and it's going to follow him into the NFL draft process, if he is even drafted. Like, I've looked at future 2026 boards, 2027 boards. I think it's funny that they already have Arch Manning being a certified number 1 pick in next year's draft, when it's like, the dude hasn't played a full season yet. He's been a backup. He's probably going to play 2 full seasons for Texas. But, like, GMs are going to wonder, hey, what's going on here? Like, what happened? Because I'm telling you, we're seeing it with Russell Wilson. We're seeing it with Aaron Rodgers. We're seeing it with, we saw it with Antonio Brown with the Raiders and the Patriots and the Bucks. Like, if you and your camp are a distraction, you're gone. And I think the other big ripple effect in the NIL portal is anybody who tries this type of shit too, anybody who tries a stunt like this, like, I think it's going to get shut down. Like, if Caleb Downs tries to request more money from Ohio State, Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame, Arch Manning from Texas, like, they're going to get shut down real quick. So it's weird. It's weird. It was a lose-lose situation either way.